How am I gonna? Where's the? There it is. What's going on here? Ah, it hides behind. Oh shit! Watching some Rich with some Minecraft. Shit. Watching some Rich piano while playing Minecraft. Okay, we could extend this a little bit. Hello, doggos. All right, what we're doing right now is we working on an enchantment room. Already. We're trying to see. Oh, I need some more glass panes. Okay. Oh, I remember what we're working on. I needed some cobblestone. So I was planning on getting some cobblestone, but where are we getting the cobblestone from? The only sound you hear is from my voice. This is just playing music, very low. Oh, I see now. Let's see. There we go. What about now? It's faint. Well, I can't turn it up any higher. Here we go. Turn it up. It's quiet. It's quiet. Here, I'll turn it up.
Right, we are back, Power Strength Gym, ready to fucking get our fucking workout in. Looks like it's pretty busy tonight. House on here.
We trying to work on a enchantment room, son.
Right on.
I gotta get some cobblestone though. My inventory is always full. Trash. What should I do with this room?
What's up, everyone?
This is the room for supposedly the nether.
No, I know we have something.
The nether! What should I do here? Leave it empty like this?
And what else?
Chest room? Chest room is right here.
Massage appointment? Fuck yeah. Definitely necessary.
Look.
And
You want to join the server? You can.
building steroid users out there. I always do my shots in my glutes, so my glutes are always
It's bedrock though.
fucked up, knotted up, sore. So going to getting a massage like once a week really fucking helps.
I got a chest room right here.
And everything else that helps, but
What am I doing from here
fucking break up all that scar
to there? Because I'm trying to make an enchantment room down here.
I just go on my glutes, for a while.
Look, I'm making an enchantment room down here that leads into the ocean.
Years, I injected in my arms
Boom.
only because, back when I was 18, 19,
I could just design it to look like the nether in there.
30 of side injections. I thought injecting in my arms, my arms would grow at a faster rate. It would help my arms grow. And also, continue to inject there. You got the inflammation.
Or I could build a mine shaft behind it.
Seem a little bigger. So I used to inject.
Or I could build a mine shaft somewhere. But look, this is the bed area up there. The bed area right here. Going down here is the enchantment room. We got it over here temporarily.
The muscle if you inject the same area too much, but I think the glute is such a large muscle.
So I don't know what we thinking here.
A muscle that really, you can
Fucking hate this shit, man. My shit is always full. Yeah, another thing, room is pretty cool, but
it is the best scenario. I haven't said that about our favorite.
should I empty out some space on the sides? Like make it a big cube?
We are going to fucking Vegas.
5. This is 5 deep.
And then after Vegas, we're going to Cali.
I gotta go flip my fries. I'll be back.
And, I'm sure you guys
Let me know if I'm dying.
what's going on.
Let me know if I'm dying. I'll be back.
Super League, a whole new fucking federation, a whole new fucking concept. Gonna compete with the NPC, IFBB. I think it's gonna be pretty fucking interesting. It's gonna be pretty sick. So check that shit out. Also, the USAs are in Vegas at the same time, so we might get a chance to see a little bit of the pre-judge USAs. Right? Are you down for that?
I'm so down.
You're so down.
I'm down like downtown.
Would you rather watch the super heavies or the bikini girls if you could only watch one?
Super heavies.
Super heavies.
No offense to the bikini girls.
And why is that?
Because I can look at boobs and butt in the mirror. Like there's no offense, but I mean they look beautiful. But I don't know.
All right,
So you're
I'm
saying
back.
Better tits and ass than all the bikini girls.
You're bad at building.
I think if I wanted to look at
What is going on, man? All right.
I feel that.
What area should I build?
That I learn more and I can understand.
I could build a mine shaft and just make it to where like
A lot of people will agree. It's kind of hard.
we mine the shit out of something.
Well, it's easy to know what to look
Or I could teleport somewhere
at, but you still can't really
and
tell.
go somewhere else.
You don't always agree with the fucking results, right?
Yeah.
Except it's
So it is kind of hard, but at least there is, at least they have some kind of, you know, standard that they set. The bikini girls, I like you said, I have no idea what they're looking for, you know? I mean, I know what I'd be looking for. Probably not what they're looking for. But I think most of the time, we're definitely better at
Okay, we're gonna mine some materials.
winners than the bikini girls winners.
Farm some materials,
Yeah,
first
still
of all.
lost in Toronto.
Yeah, but
So let's go ahead and find a little area.
Second, I had first.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I can mine.
that was close, but then I'm
See,
trying
do I
to
have
think-
any?
I'm trying to think
I don't have any of those teleporting things. Oh, here we go.
What's the sickest thing to watch though?
Oh, the flipping and what
The
is it
fucking
called?
fitness
Fitness?
girls.
Yeah.
Fitness girls are off the hook. It's fucking so entertaining, so talented. It's unbelievable that they fucking diet, they get shredded, and then they fucking do all the gymnastics fucking crazy shit. That is fucking crazy. I mean, it's fucking hard enough to
Here we go.
get your body fat that low, your water fucking depleted, and get up on stage and
I think
pose.
this is where you turn.
Right here?
Yeah, I believe so.
And get up there.
See, do I have my mining ticket
I
on?
think this is it.
There's a McDonald's. I know I turn out at McDonald's.
No.
Nope, that's it.
What?
Yeah, that was Belcher.
What?
Go ahead and
That
put
was
that
Belcher.
mine.
No, I don't go on Belcher. I go on fucking.
Oh, the other way? Because I thought we were going to the office first.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
Motherfucker. It's not that far.
Yer and yo.
It's like literally like a half a block right
The
past.
car that just passed you was filming you like 5 seconds ago.
They were filming me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that fucking thing. I would never fight that. That thing is too damn strong for its own good.
They're gonna watch this and go, hey, that's us.
Look, they're slowing down right now, right?
Stupidly strong. Oh, this is a cool little area right here.
Just give him something to fucking film, god damn it!
They won't let back down.
What's up? What's up? What are they all about? 16, 17 years
Oh
old?
my god, maybe.
Shake time, god damn it.
Man.
Man, I miss Rich.
The fucking adjustment I had to make was driving me crazy. Alright, people, listen to this. I've never gotten in a wreck driving with Chanel, but she's constantly scared out of her mind when we drive. But I've never gotten in a wreck. Since I've known her, I've never got. Have I gotten in a wreck since I've known you?
Yeah.
I have?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I wasn't in the car with you though. Yeah, this is where you make it right.
No. When did I get in a wreck?
The.
Whoa, what is this?
Getting onto the freeway when you're in the Bentley. And
Oh,
then
isn't that
somebody,
the thing I was just in?
rammed the side of your other Bentley in LA.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
house
She
I
was
just
like
in?
trying to race you to get to the thing, and you were
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Hey, lady, what are you doing?" And she just like slammed into your car.
Yeah, that was in the Orange.
Yes, and then.
She fucking tried to fucking race me to the goddamn on-ramp of the freeway. She's fucking crazy. Like, she's fucking trying to race me. I'm like, all right, it's fucking on.
Is there a way to make this a little
And I
pop up?
smoked her ass, obviously. And then, like, I just zoomed past her. And then I slowed down to turn. And I didn't realize she was still fucking racing.
Oh, here we go.
And it merges together. So she fucking just slammed in the side of my car. Like, what the fuck?
Why is it back there?
Crazy. And it was crazy is that, okay, there's a car racing me, right? And they're driving like fucking lunatic. And then it's like the lanes merging and they're still trying to fucking beat me, and there's no way you're gonna beat me. You're gonna crash into me. She fucking crashes into me. Well, obviously I didn't know it was a girl. I thought it was a fucking guy, right? So I was like, obviously we're gonna have a fucking problem right now, right? So I sit in my car and wait for what I assume is him to get out, and it was a girl.
Oh, fuck.
And she got out and she's like, that was your fault. I'm just like, wow. I'm like, all right, let's just switch information. We don't need to, we'll let, the fucking insurance companies decide whose fault it is. But the last wreck I got in was actually in the fucking Maserati.
And that was since you've known me, but I wasn't in the car. Adam was in the car with you. He was filming you, right?
Where were you?
That was our little 396-day break.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You knew me, but yeah. We went together. Yeah, that was fucking. That was not good.
I did not like that mini player.
I'll just leave it at that. I remember I was driving back when I had the police car. I was with my younger brother, and I was texting. And all the cars stopped, and I was probably doing about 50, and I just fucking slammed into the fucking car in front of me, and both fucking airbags.
A fucking bear?
And fucking hit us in the face, and there was white shit all over. Oh man, that was funny. That's the first time I think I ever had an airbag pop out. You ever had an airbag pop out?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Why are all these animals after me?
Actually had an airbag.
Oh my god!
It can fuck you up if it hits you right in the face.
I'm going back home.
Yep.
Where it's safe.
I don't know if it hit me right in the face. I know it scared the hell out of Zach.
Scared the shit out of me.
I was laughing my ass off. He was like ghost white, like what the fuck? People are starting to stop by the office because they see the videos and then they figure out where the office is, and people are starting to stop. They think like you can go in there and buy shit, like it's a store or something. Like, no, it's not a store. It's just a fucking warehouse. It's where we ship shit out. We got to go by the other warehouse where my cars are and see what's going on there, because last I knew they were building a huge commercial kitchen there.
Yeah, for the meals prep, right?
Yeah, so I wonder how that's going. I haven't even checked it out. All I know is they're telling me that I got to get my cars out of there pretty soon. All right, so we got to kind of make it short here.
So wait, there's a...
We don't have a lot
that.
of time to get everything done, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I get up there?
Yeah, we still got to pack our shit and we're leaving tomorrow morning
Mm-hmm.
to Vegas.
Man.
And so we're gonna go to the USA's prejudge, right? What the USA's prejudge, and then we're gonna go to Super League, and then we're going to see Beatles Circus Soleil, right?
Yes, baby.
And then we're doing something else, or that's it.
No, that's it.
That's it, right? For some reason I thought we were seeing two shows, but no, just one show because we leave
Just one
Sunday.
show. Yeah.
And so Circus Soleil show is Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it, right? And then we fucking probably get up and eat, train.
Come on, man.
And fly to Cali. I kind of want to drive. I kind of like driving, though, right? I'm used to always driving to Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I kind of like driving. It's kinda,
Let's go back home.
Done that? I guess we still can if you want.
Oops.
It's up to you. You just let me know and I will make the arrangements, sir.
right. We are here. Let's do this. Ready?
Oh, hell no. I'm out of here again.
Shitting, 'cause it's gonna be fucking hot, right? This drink's like all my shakes.
Go home.
I got my motherfucking post-workout shake, right?
You know what?
In flat black. And then I got the pre-workout.
For now,
Oh yeah.
let's just build a mine shaft here.
3 scoops of Kill It and 2 scoops of Full as Fuck. And then I'm
For
gonna
now.
fucking get down and dirty.
For now.
All right, ready? Let's hit it. Goddammit. Oh, yes. I'm away to get a goddamn massage.
What? Oh, I'm using my silk touch.
And then go to massage. Spent too much time at the office. They wouldn't let me go. So now I fucking gotta go straight to massage. And it doesn't really make sense to work out after a massage, but we'll see how I feel. What do you think, babe?
Thank you. Probably feeling pretty good.
I'll be feeling pretty good.
I think so. You felt really good last time.
Did I?
Yeah.
We're almost there or what?
Yes.
What is, I heard I just didn't hear. What was it? 1 mile?
Well, it's about a half mile up on the right.
Shit.
In
Yeah.
half a mile, the destination is on your right. 6497.
38.
Yeah, this place is, it's pretty nice, right? I mean, it's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
And for the prices, you can't beat it. Like, it's fucking crazy. The prices are unbelievable, right? What is it? It's
I think it was like
75
70. Yeah, 70 or 75 for,
for
an hour
and a half. So it was $50 for an hour, and then 75 for an hour and a half, and that's deep tissue full deep tissue. And
Deep tissue. You're gonna go get fucking.
and they said if
He's gonna go work out. Hell no, I was dead after that tissue massage.
and a half. So I'm like, all right, book me. So I get an hour and a half, and I'm getting some kind of hot rock bullshit. I've done it before. Have you done it?
Yeah.
It's good, right?
Babe, when we did the couples massage in Cancun, we got hot rocks.
Oh, nice, nice.
Right now, I was gonna say, oh, was that you? But I don't want to.
Ew.
I know that's why I didn't do it. But now I forgot. I didn't do it. I'm
Like,
just saying I thought about doing it. So
When somebody tried to repost my Germany video and used the wrong blonde on the thumbnail, what the hell was that?
what was the video called?
It was Rich and Chanel in Germany, and it was not me in bed with you.
It was me kissing someone else in bed, right?
Yeah. It's pretty damn funny, though. I don't know, like, I went onto the computer that she used to use one time, and I was, like, cleaning stuff up, and I...
Oh shit, my potatoes.
I thought it was a picture of me and you, and it was a picture of you and her. And I was like,
All
holy
right.
shit, okay, now I understand why people, like, get us confused. I get it. It's not just the boobs and the blonde hair. There is some sort of facial feature that we both have in common, and I can't put my finger on it, but that was kind of a trip.
Not just the blonde hair, the boobs, and the asses.
Yeah. In the keen fashion sense.
Yes. Yeah, you guys like dress the same, wearing love and kill and shit. You know, you guys like dress exactly. You guys are dressing like exactly the same. What the fuck? All right, here we go.
No. It's like the 2-level building.
Oh shit!
What was that?
Fucking tree
The
branches.
destination is on your right.
Right there?
6490 Central
God
Avenue.
damn it!
It hit the tree branches. All right.
Wrong
I
way.
pulled in the wrong motherfucking way.
Why am I not surprised?
Oh look, you do some yoga, baby.
While you're getting your massage, I'll go do yoga. There you go.
God damn it! Is this it? Essentials?
Yes.
Take time, guys. Dang it.
Awesome.
Oh, I need some more cobblestone. Hello. What am I trading out? These 3.
Oh shit, babe. Are you fucking kidding me right
Please
now?
connect a telephone or a SIM card.
Oh my god, babe.
Is it okay?
I don't think so. Last time I did that, it was fucking $3,000. Motherfucking shitty ass fucking curbs. Fucking driving in the wrong fucking way. God damn it. Pissing me off. Alright, let's get out of here.
Okay.
I didn't even want to look at the front of my fucking car. Fuck. I just got it. It just happened like a month ago. And they had it for like 3 weeks. Alright, now we are headed to the gym. Gold's Largo today.
Bro, he is crazy.
Train, baby.
Going to the gym after deep tissue?
Am I training alone?
I don't know what
Bro is built different.
I don't know, it's up to you. I mean, we talked about you doing cardio in the beginning and then driving maybe or something. I don't know. Tell me.
Do you want to do back?
No, I just did back.
Do you...
And she just destroyed my back.
Oh, that's right. Can you do arms then? I know that shoulders probably out of the question. Unless, of course, you want to do legs.
Ooh, I need you, Sir Squid.
That's always my favorite thing to do. I am starving though, but you know.
You serious? You didn't drop no insects.
Twice in, I had 2 bars. So 2 bars is probably a pretty decent meal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close to equivalent to one meal.
You didn't drop no snack.
Technically, like,
Oh, snack.
3 meals.
I think so. I think I can call
Where'd I
it
get snacks from?
possibly.
What am I getting rid of here?
It's so nice out, right?
Yeah, it's really pretty weather.
Yeah, we need to get a little sun by the pool, huh? Shit.
Gotta do what we can, but, you know, we leave tomorrow, so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the pool at that place is not some fucking...
There we go. We figured it out. We figured it out. We figured it out, guys.
No. You're like, no, not at all.
Let's get up here. I gotta make the descent smoother.
Flowers for this guy.
Alright, what are we gonna do here?
And we are at Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
Chipotle
I don't know if it was a good idea to build it right here.
Yeah.
My boy Rich, man, he gone, man.
Now, his friendships and mentorships were integral to his personal and professional development and played a large role in the beginning of his YouTube career. See, over the years, Rich formed close relationships with several key figures in the bodybuilding and fitness community in California. He leveraged a lot of these connections to create content, as he often interviewed his friends as well as other competitors within the local bodybuilding scene. He also had a particular affinity for interviewing female competitors and fitness models by using clickbait titles like Hot Blonde Bikini Girl at Venice Beach Bikini Contest, or Beautiful Sexy Bikini Girl at Venice Beach Contest, or Hot Sexy Chick at Venice Beach Bikini Contest. So, if you couldn't tell, the man really loved himself some bikini competitors, and clearly understood the art of clickbait titles early on. Because if there's ever been one constant in the history of social media that is guaranteed to get views, it's sex appeal. Now, he also did a lot of early content with Big Herc, the host of the Fresh Out YouTube channel. And while he did use the allure of women to attract more views, he also made it a point to showcase unknown male talent as well. His relationships extended beyond just his mentors, encompassing a wide network of bodybuilders who shared his dedication for the sport. Among them was a young and up-and-coming bodybuilder that went by Kali Muscle.
Cali Muscle.
Who, if you're not familiar with, eventually went on to become one of the biggest and most controversial fitness influencers on all of YouTube during his run. As Rich continued making content, he'd start posting training videos of himself and his training partners, giving insight into the intensity of his training sessions and what it was like to work out with Rich Piana. These sessions were sporadically sprinkled through his early YouTube channel and showed a generous guy willing to help others, as well as his unrelenting work ethic. One of his close friends recalls how Rich would often stay late at the gym to help others perfect their technique or offer other training advice on routines and nutrition. He had also gotten a reputation by the people who had shared the stage with him as a great sportsman who often motivated everyone around him. This early growth of his channel was an intimate look into the life and brand that he was building outside of bodybuilding. It was also where the moniker "One Day You May" was born. It wasn't just a positive affirmation, it was what he called himself. The idea being that if you work hard enough, one day you may achieve everything you want to.
Basically, this is just a positive statement that keeps everyone going for their hopes, their dreams, their goals, shooting high, accomplishing your goals, and our goals is looking good, competing in contests. Jessica competes, I compete, Marcus has competed, and we're here just representing One Day Man. We want people to join us in our crusade of accomplishing all our goals, and pick up your One Day You May t-shirt. Let's do this. Become part of the One Day You May family. Yeah.
This was essentially the very first brand that Rich created on his own and a movement that was sweeping through the California bodybuilding scene. He made a concerted effort to highlight the brand at the beginning of most of his videos while showcasing merch wherever and whenever he could. This was
Kelly is so awkward on camera back then. Damn.
Things to come.
People look at me, the muscles, the tattoos, and they assume that One Day You May only stands for bodybuilding, working out, lifting weights, lifting heavy weights.
This car's clean.
And the truth is, it could stand for that, but it stands for everything. Whatever your hopes and dreams are, whatever you want to accomplish in life, One Day You May is a positive affirmation that just basically keeps you motivated, keeps you moving forward to accomplish those goals.
His distinct look, combined with his enthusiasm and charisma, helped attract new subscribers to his channel, slowly increasing his exposure to more and more people within the community. But to those who were already very familiar with Rich, they were seeing a man who was changing a lot in a short amount of time. Behind all of the mounds of muscle and all the new tattoos that he inked on his body was a man desperate for attention and validation of the masses. A man still battling with his self-esteem. This is evidenced by how inflated his arms had become, and the constant changes in his appearance, like his haircut. Going from his signature jet black hair, to blonde, to this interesting cornrow variation as well. To some, this was a man who was open about expressing himself through different style choices, while to others, it was a desperate cry for attention. Either way, it was working because the views were slowly coming in. He was establishing a very distinct look that became integral to his brand. His willingness to network with people face to face while documenting it on his channel was doing more for his growth than the algorithm was at the time, which led to him regaining some local buzz in the industry, bringing his name back to relevance. From there, he'd be presented an opportunity that would change his life forever. In 2012, after having built a small following for himself along with his 23-year reputation as a bodybuilder in Italy, the
what you know about
subsequent
Minecraft?
came knocking.
A lot.
See, among one of the many connections Rich made was
I'll be Minecrafting.
a film producer for Mutant Supplements, which to this
Actually, why don't I put you guys on my main screen?
industry. Alex recognized that Rich's growing brand and personality made him more than just a juice head that the outside world saw him as. In recognizing his
There you
potential,
go.
Alex introduced Rich.
You guys are here.
The director of marketing for Mutant, who saw what Alex saw, the next big thing in fitness. Having seen the work he was doing on his YouTube, they saw the unique lane that he was carving for himself and felt that he had something special and it aligned with their brand. You see, they weren't necessarily looking for a bodybuilder anymore as
Who
they
hates who?
understood the value that content creators could
What you
bring
talking
to their growing audiences that even bodybuilders didn't have. It was a highly criticized and seemingly head-scratching move to a lot of people. Investing so much time and money into a middle-aged retired bodybuilder instead of an up-and-coming one was a very unconventional choice. So, despite Rich explaining to them that he had no plans on returning to the stage, they still wanted to work with him because they wanted Rich the person. He didn't need the money, as he had done pretty well for himself financially. So this sponsorship was mainly a means for him to have fun and expand his business footprint. The plan for Rich was to be the star of a new web series they were launching called Leave Humanity Behind, where Rich was reported giving his take on various different topics, ranging from training technique and advice
In bed?
to nutrition
This
and
guy.
education.
Maybe I feel like my back's a little weak body part. So I might train back 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe I feel like my shoulders are getting a little big for my chest. Lay off the shoulders, maybe hit them once every 2 weeks. Constantly changing my routine. Makes no sense to me. Monday chest, Tuesday back, Wednesday shoulders. For years and years, your body's not going to develop even because some body parts grow faster than others. Everyone's genetics are different. Got to switch your workout around to match your genetics. Basically, what I do is top dose, which is 4 scoops. But you know, I'm not happy with 4 scoops because I always have to overdo everything. Have to. Can't do what everyone else is doing. Come on!
He would even touch on the tabooest aspect of the fitness industry, which is steroid use. Having been on them for 20 years, he had a high level of insight on the use of PEDs, as well as some brutally honest input on the effects and risks. An aspect of his brand that would provide a refreshing perspective that was absent in the fitness space at the time.
Talked about, getting off cycle. Yeah, a lot of people ask the question of, they were, contradicting what we were saying, what we were telling the people. And the thing is when you do get off a cycle, it's beneficial to your body to take that break. Sure. And, a lot of people still don't want to believe that, that it is beneficial. And it definitely is a mandatory thing. You have to get off your cycle and you have to give your body a break and let it go.
Scooby-Doo movies.
This had 4 different installments, all produced by Alex Ardenti and released all over social media. And it was a massive hit. Through organic growth within the algorithm, pushed by the name recognition of Mutant, Rich's face and likeness was plastered all over social media. This trickled down to Rich's personal accounts, as his YouTube and Instagram would explode as well. He'd post clips from parts of the series on his channel, which helped it gain a lot more exposure, as the high production quality, combined with the motivational theme, set him apart from anyone else. Add to that a completely distinct look, and it was a recipe for absolute virality. People wanted to hear what he had to say, and to many, this was a series that would change the entire fitness industry. By 2013, he hadn't even scratched the surface of his peak, so naturally, newer opportunities would start rolling in. Rich got the opportunity to go on a combat-style game show where he had to get physical with other athletes.
You know what you have to do? Me con un cacharo que da un miedo. Usted tiene que tratar de... ¡Uy!
Uy, no, uy, se me
3.
hizo.
No, de todo. El tércoles. Siga, siga. ¡Ah! Casi, casi lo saca.
Unfortunately for him, though, This would lead to another major injury, a torn patellar tendon in his left knee, an injury that he documented and spoke about on his channel and the Mutant series.
And so it was all fun and games. And, you know, he told me, he said, you know, don't be aggressive. You know, don't push my guys. It's not a contest. You know, I don't want my guys getting hurt, you know, so on and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. You know, anyway, when I got out there, we were just, you know, I was just not doing anything. As you can see, if you watch the video, I was just standing there and just kind of waiting for him to pretend to push me. And then as he pretended to push me, I kind of, you know, pretended to, you know, not let him push me and back and forth. And basically, he went for like a double leg takedown, quick, you know, kind of unexpectedly. And I sprawled a little bit, like, you know, what the fuck was that? You know, whatever.
I have a collection of Scooby-Doo merch that's insured for over... Wait, what?
He would act like he was just not doing anything, and then out of nowhere, he'd try to, you know, get me out of the rink really quick. And I could feel what was going on, you know, that this was not what it was said to be. I basically pushed him out of the circle and off the pedestal into the pads just to kind of end the situation, because believe it or not, I was getting a little out of breath. My 300 pounds was kicking in, and I couldn't breathe. I was not used to that kind of, you know, cardiovascular. So then they brought out another guy, and I'm like, what is this? They're just gonna keep bringing guys out? It is. I just pushed him off the pedestal right away just to end the situation, and they didn't end it. Brought him back in. I got him off the pedestal again, which didn't end it. And then he pushed me, and as soon as I put my feet down to hold my balance, my knee just cracked, and I fell backwards. You know, my knee just gave out, and I landed on my back, and you know, I knew something happened to my knee immediately, and I basically got up and fell right back down. I mean, my knee was jacked. Yeah, this leg injury has been a nightmare for me. You know, but it's going good now. It's going great actually. Tore patella, broken meniscus, both sides. When the patella tendon tore in half, it's never a clean tear. It's always, you know, there's little straight edges and so forth, and they have to cut off.
Yeah, I have some rare items no lines from when I was a kid. Still collect, just not active.
Together and reattach it. And I didn't have surgery for 2 weeks after the injury, so my tendons, you know, shrunk up. And in order for them to get those tendons together, they weren't sure if they were going to be able to do it. And they did it, obviously, sewed it together. And when I woke up, I was in tremendous pain. And they told me I'm going to have pain for months. And I was supposed to be in and out of the hospital in one day. I was there for 4 days.
Now, as his business relationship with Mutant continued
Collector.
to thrive, his channel began seeing drastically increased view counts as his popularity was growing. Now, during this rapid ascension, he'd stay true to his original style of content by continuing to interview local talent around the country and documenting the California bodybuilding scene. Now, despite his newfound success, he was still adamant about using his platform to showcase other people and give them exposure as well.
Oh, now it's bothering me. It's uneven.
He just loved talking to interesting people and giving advice wherever he could. Now, it was also right around this time that people would notice brand new merchandising in a lot of his videos. He was wearing a lot less "One Day You May" and more merch that read "Love It, Kill It," and "Welcome to My World." This was a clear indicator that Rich might have had a brand new business venture he was cooking up. And by late 2013, he would start coining the term 5% and 5%er for the first time in his videos. By 2014, the name Rich Piana had become bigger than ever, and having always had an entrepreneurial mind and always looking to maximize his income, he was ready to do his own thing. Through his partnership with Mutant and personal success, he was in a prime position to monetize his own business and build the legacy he always wanted, which led to the birth of 5% Nutrition.
Okay.
It's very, very important to be successful in life. You know, when we retire, you know, we want to not have to work. We don't want to be working in our 60s. We want to be, you know, well off, retired, and living a good life. So you got to think about those things. So I really, really, really love to inspire people to put those efforts into being successful also.
Rich Piana's entrepreneurial journey began with the creation of 5% Nutrition, a company that eventually became synonymous with his philosophy and approach to the bodybuilding lifestyle. See, he had identified a gap in the supplement market for products that catered specifically to the hardcore bodybuilding community. He recognized that a lot of existing supplements did not meet the needs of serious athletes who were pushing their bodies to the limit. So he said, F it, I'll start my own supplement line. The name 5% was inspired by the idea that only 5% of people are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. That 5% effort was what separated champions from the rest, and this concept resonated deeply within Rich's own life and dedication to bodybuilding, and it formed the cornerstone of the brand's identity.
Basically, 5%ers is 5% of the people in the world that are willing to do whatever it takes to reach their goals. Now, saying that, it's for everybody, no matter what the goals are in life. It's those people that are willing to do whatever it takes to reach those goals.
There we go.
Think it has to do with only bodybuilding, you know, only about the body and so forth. And it's definitely the furthest thing from the truth because...
Is this vanilla? No, it is not vanilla.
There's much more in life than our outer shell. You know, and I'm talking about, you know, financial security, you know, career choices, just goals and dreams, you know, that we have. And it's just to motivate people to keep pushing forward and accomplishing their dreams.
5% Nutrition was founded in 2014 and quickly became one of the most recognized.
That's RL Craft.
In the entire supplement market, mainly due to Rich's marketing.
Is it 8 o'clock yet?
Philosophy and
It's barely
concept
7.
in its motto, whatever it takes, resonated with athletes who were committed to pushing their limits to the extreme. It initially started out with just training programs and nutritional guidance before expanding into supplements and clothing. Rich had a very hands-on approach to product development and
RL Craft
met the highest standards of quality and effectiveness. He also played a heavy role in the merchandise design and made sure that the 5% brand was as recognizable as possible. His marketing strategies were pretty sound as well. He used his social media platforms to promote the brand and created engaging content that showcased the benefits of 5% and the lifestyle they represented. His authenticity and direct connection with his growing audience was instrumental in building that trust and loyalty among customers. And a big part of that trust and loyalty was developed through Rich's candid approach to speaking about the dark side of his steroid abuse and the honest advice that came with it.
Adding in that Tess and Deca, my bench went up to 405. And that was my first cycle. And, you know, I have to be honest. And the truth is...
So, like, trains? What do you mean?
I was hooked, man. I was hooked because, you know, my body just grew in front of me. You know, it was growing. My strength was exploding. And, you know, I was going to be one of the top bodybuilders of the world. And I was not going to stop. You know, I was hooked, and I knew I was hooked. And this is, at this point, I knew this is all that mattered.
No, RL Craft is really hard Minecraft. Like Minecraft on steroids. There's dragons. There's dungeons. There's trinkets. You have to. You can't even use diamond until you level up to a certain extent. Like, look, max level is 50. I'm level 30. You gotta level up each individual stat point to unlock to be able to even use iron. Like, you missed the whole.
But Rich did it for the sake of presenting the most honest image to his fans.
It's hard.
The reason why people were so drawn to him. They felt like they could trust him. And if they could trust him, they wouldn't think twice about trusting his products.
Basically, I'm all about being honest with people, telling people how it is. I'm the first person ever, I think, in the world to ever come out and tell everybody the truth of what I'm about to say. And this is the truth of the supplement industry. Now, most young kids, you know, their hero, whoever they admire to, or their mentor, whoever it is that they look up to, they go buy that protein powder. So, you know, if your hero happens to be Jay Cutler, who's a fucking awesome bodybuilder, and I think he's a great guy, then you're gonna go buy his protein powder because he's Jay Cutler's, all right? Phil Heath, Mr. Olympia. If he's your idol, you're gonna buy his protein powder. But people don't even bother reading the labels to even compare the protein powders. They don't even think, wow, let me look at this label. Let me read it and see what's in it. Oh, geez, there's 11 grams of sugar per serving. Maybe this isn't the best thing to put in my body. But you know what? They don't even read the label. And it just drives me crazy because I want people to know the truth.
He even established the name 5%er for people who were fans of the brand and had values that aligned with the 5% lifestyle. A lifestyle of hard work, determination.
Wait, there's a harder version of RL Craft. Where?
Around you. No sugarcoating or cutting corners, but doing whatever it takes to achieve your dreams. Rich had spent years trying to figure out how he could use his image as a bodybuilder to build a brand, and he had finally done that. He had initially thought that his inactivity with competing would cause people to not take him so seriously. However, this wasn't the case at all, because his personality was so big that no one cared about the fact that he never even turned pro. Now, diversifying his business interests between supplements, programs, and content was a great financial strategy to keep the brand afloat and thriving for the long term. Because having been a former mutant athlete, he was now in competition with them. So he had to do whatever he could to gain that competitive edge. He knew that by leveraging his fame and popularity, he could still have some piece of the market. He knew that people would gravitate to what they felt was real and authentic, a testament to his business acumen. His YouTube was also integral to building 5% because it was free marketing. Marketing that YouTube was actually paying him to do. See, anybody that's ever started a business knows that marketing costs can be hefty. But having already had an audience on YouTube and Instagram, he could eliminate that cost by just using his content as subtle ads for the efficacy of his products. Why pay for an ad campaign
Damn.
plaster his merch in all of his videos and be seen by hundreds of thousands of people, while also collecting that sweet ad revenue? His commitment to continuous improvement is highlighted through the development of his signature products like All Day You May and Kill It, which were meticulously designed to address specific needs like recovery, muscle growth, and energy. Beyond selling products, 5% Nutrition was about building a community of like-minded people. Every 5%er was made to feel like they were part of something bigger than just a brand. It became an entire movement, with Rich as the figurehead. The magnitude of the movement was further reinforced through events, seminars, and appearances at bodybuilding expos. His presence at these events allowed him to connect with fans in person, answer their questions, give them some inspiration, and take real pictures with them. Not the forced pictures that celebrities often take with their fans. He wanted every picture he took with his fans to feel authentic and like he was taking a picture with his friend. He would always show up at these expos early and work the entire way through. He wouldn't even take a break in between, instead opting to eat while he was meeting fans and having conversations. Yet another way in which he was able to translate his insane work ethic into every other aspect of his life, and wouldn't leave until he met every single fan that was there to see him. Now, the journey of building 5% Nutrition wasn't without its challenges and controversies. For starters, in the beginning, they dealt with some serious inventory issues as they weren't able to meet the demand that was coming in, so he had to quickly scale the business. He also had to deal with some regulatory hurdles when it came to how he could formulate some of his products. Because despite having been enhanced most of his life, he didn't really advocate for steroids. In fact, he was very outspoken about its dangerous effects and cautioned members of his audience against using them unless they were competitive bodybuilders. But understanding his core demographic meant realizing that they did share his mindset of whatever it takes. So what he focused on was creating products that can mimic the effects of anabolic steroids in a natural way. Now, some of these products obviously didn't have the same anabolic effect, but Rich felt that they were a safer alternative to the real thing. But this wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, as it led to a lot of people questioning whether or not his products really worked, and whether or not the 5% lifestyle was even sustainable. But some of these issues paled in comparison to the continued scrutiny he was getting from his outspoken nature about steroids. This was easily the most polarizing aspect to his rise to fame, and something which ended up being a double-edged sword. On one end of the spectrum were people who loved the fact that he was so transparent about it and willing to say things that others weren't. His willingness to share his knowledge on the topic honestly and with a no-nonsense attitude made his social media platforms become a hub for people to learn more about
It's not looking too bad. What are we gonna do after this?
On the other hand, however, were people who felt that he was promoting steroids by talking about abusing them, which in a way trivialized the serious consequences. Despite some of the controversy and negativity, he continued pushing on and got 5% Nutrition to a point where they had secured international distribution and started collaborating with other fitness influencers. He didn't like the traditional contract structure of most supplement companies that he felt was exploitative to the athlete. Instead, he made his contract subject to termination at any time, which meant that an athlete was free to pursue whatever other opportunities they wanted at any time. Now, while his brand was growing stronger than ever, and he had reached heights he never thought imaginable, Rich was actually not doing so well and slowly buckling underneath the stress and pressure of maintaining a certain image. Not just with his physique, but in his personal life as well. Getting scrutinized himself was hard enough, but he'd eventually learn that with a certain level of fame came the scrutiny of the people around him, including romantic interests. See, earlier in his life, Rich was married to his high school sweetheart, a marriage which ended in divorce due to Rich's devotion to his career causing strain on the relationship. This first marriage was foundational.
Where
He gave emotional
is...
support during the early stages of his bodybuilding career. But as his fame grew and the demands of his career increased, the
Oh,
marriage would eventually succumb to the pressure. Now, fast forward to the early phases of building 5%, he had entered a relationship with a woman named Chanel Jansen, who was actually his videographer and an integral part of the content creation for his personal brand and 5%. When the couple broke up, they subsequently ended their business relationship. Now, by 2015,
I don't care about all that, man.
this time an Icelandic bodybuilder, Sarah Heimisdottir. Deciding to give marriage a second chance, the pair were wed later that year and were immediately put under a microscope due to their fame. This relationship was highly publicized, with the couple frequently sharing their life together on social media. Sarah was not only a wife, but also a collaborator in 5% and other business ventures. Their shared
I messed up, bro. I should have made it further away.
careers. However, behind the facade of a happy couple, they were cultivating toxicity behind the scenes. Allegations of infidelity on both sides were rampant, with Rich actually acknowledging his own infidelity in the marriage to his audience, further exposing himself and staying true to his transparent brand identity. The couple were also feeling the strain and anxieties of maintaining the perfect relationship for social media, despite that not being the case behind the scenes. The marriage wouldn't last long, as the couple would divorce within a year in the fall of 2016, but that wasn't the end of it.
Next week, I bulk up with this beefcake.
And my opinion is, I would rather have my balls shrink 20 to 30%, and my balls have shrunk 20 to 30%, so my dick looks even bigger than it did.
He hasn't used as many performance-enhancing drugs as Maria Sharapova.
2016 also saw Rich nab one of his biggest
Tosh.0, I remember Tosh.
yet, when he was featured on an episode of Tosh.0 hosted by Daniel Tosh at the height of the show's popularity.
Tatted, tanned, and way too tone hunk is former Mr. California Rich Piana. He's produced, directed, and starred in hundreds of YouTube videos that reveal the dirty secrets of getting swole.
This appearance was a part of a segment called Siu Celebrity Profile.
You shave grass around the tree. Could be. Could be.
You done with that? Oh, Christ almighty, you are huge. Let me see you flex. Are you fine with people just staring at you constantly?
I'm so used to it that it doesn't bother me.
What about strangers touch you?
Yeah, that I don't like.
But do they?
All the time.
What's the most offensive thing people yell?
Probably just yell steroids.
Do people yell
All the time. You'll be walking through the mall and you just hear steroids.
Meantime, there's a negative perception about you bodybuilders. Underneath those misshapen muscles is an overworked heart yearning for more.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's time for the world to see muscle freaks being freaking adorable.
Muscle freaks being freaking adorable.
Jumping in Tuscany.
What?
Singing a baby to sleep. Blowing bubbles in a bubble bath. Separating Oreos.
That same year, Rich published an expose on his YouTube channel about his ex-wife, claiming that she had been using him to get a green card.
All right, now today I'm going to talk about a subject that I honestly never wanted to share. I never wanted to talk about it. It's my personal, private shit that's, it's just something I never wanted to talk about, but I feel like it's necessary. It's embarrassing for me to admit it, to realize it. People, family, friends, they all, Rich, you've known this girl for a couple months and you're gonna marry her? Like, what are you thinking? And people, said, hey Rich, do you think this is a possibility? Did you ever? And I'm like, I took offense to it. And what they were talking about is, she's just marrying you for a green card. Like, don't you see that shit? The first situation was I caught her stealing, and she was putting money into other accounts that were linked to her family in Iceland. And I learned a lot, and I'm moving forward, and things are fucking great.
All right, we're a little mining area.
By 2016, The abuse that Rich had been doing to his body over the course of the last 27 years had been taking its toll. He made a habit of taking 2 IUs of growth hormone a day, not just for physical purposes, but for longevity purposes as well, or so he claimed. But beyond the gear abuse, he had also abused Adderall at the beginning of his career, taking it 3 to 5 times a week to give him that edge. His substance abuse had also not subsided, as the battle against his demons was one he had been struggling with his whole career. He was also physically in rough shape, as the years of intense training had destroyed his knees to a point where he had the smallest bit of cartilage in both of them. An MRI he had gotten had revealed that the patella tendon he had torn was like a piece of dental floss. He had tried everything, from physical therapy to stem cell therapy that cost $11,000. They had taken stem cells from his hip and put it into his knee, which, according to him, had done nothing to quell the pain. However, it is important to note that despite the severe pain that he was dealing with every single day, he never lowered his training intensity, which didn't help matters either. Now, the success of 5% was a blessing and a curse, because while it should have given Rich the validation that he desperately wanted, all it did was amplify his anxieties and insecurities and push him further and further down that dark path of abusing himself, as evidenced by the obvious cosmetic surgery that he got on his face, drastically changing his appearance from what it was just a few years prior. He had always been a tortured soul, who his entire life had to battle with the beast that was his body dysmorphia and the fear of never being big enough, also known as bigorexia. He was very aware of the risks that he was taking with his life by abusing PEDs, and in his own words, "I'm willing to take the chances, but I'm gonna do it as safe as possible." But the safety part of that statement was a mindset that he wouldn't adopt until his later years, when the damage had already been done. By this point in his life, he had developed hypertension and kidneys that were in really bad shape, leading to him having to be on dialysis. He was also at a high risk for cardiovascular disease and had been suffering from severe liver damage and liver toxicity that only got worse over time. Steroids can be hepatotoxic, meaning they can cause liver damage, especially when used in high doses over long periods. Rich did undergo regular liver function tests to monitor the impact of his steroid use, but the damage was cumulative and difficult to reverse. It was the price he was starting to pay for the pursuit of perfection. The weight of being a role model and the fear of disappointing the massive fan base that he had amassed only drove him further and further down that dark
I think I want to make it bigger.
path of more steroids.
How can I get bigger?
His battle with his addictions were a contrast to his public perception of strength and fortitude, because behind the big personality was a man who was constantly battling with himself. In May of 2017, Generation Iron released Generation Iron 2, the sequel to their original hit in 2013. Now, despite not being an IFBB pro, Rich was heavily featured in this second film. Vlad and the crew had followed him around, interviewing him and gaining more insight into the man who had become one of the biggest and most influential names in the fitness community. Now, while the film showcased praise for Rich, it also featured a prominent golden era bodybuilder who was highly critical of him and his brand. Bodybuilding legend Rich Gaspari was among one of his most vocal detractors, going as far as expressing his dislike for Rich Piana and the work that he was doing, claiming that it was sending the wrong message to people. Gaspari went on to say,
"There's a lot of false, I call them false gurus. I'm not a big fan of Rich Piana because I just think he sends out a wrong message to the young millennials. There's a person that I feel, hurts the industry because they show the aspects of taking, the taboo part of taking the drugs, but then they're sitting there selling their products, touting that their products work and other ones don't."
He would be far from the last person that Rich would have a bit of a rift with. Big Boy, who had built a pretty big name for himself in the California fitness scene, had come across Rich's radar, leading to him getting signed by 5% Nutrition. However, in following in Rich's footsteps, he eventually got to a point where he was ready to do his own thing and start his own clothing brand, a step in his career that he claims Rich was not very supportive of, leading to their falling out. Hell, there was even speculation that Rich had moved to Florida due to the rising influence and popularity of the strength cartel movement, threatening 5%'s hold on the hardcore California fitness market. This rumor, though, was never confirmed.
The rumor that's going on that you and him in a fallout or something like that.
Yeah.
Is there truth to that or no?
Yeah, definitely true. Yeah. I was with his brand, his clothing supplement brand.
5%, right?
Yeah, 5%. And he always told me, like, hey, whenever you want to do clothing, just let me know. I'll be okay with it. So that's what I did. I came to him out of respect as a man, you know what I mean? I don't have to come to him, but out of respect for someone that helped me out, I came, "Hey, Rich, is it okay if I start doing my own clothing?" And yeah, he gave me his blessings. Like, "Yeah, go ahead, big boy." So that's what I did. And in return, he didn't show me the same respect, he texts me at 3 a.m., like in the middle of the night. And to me, I took that like as disrespect. Like, you can't either call me or sit me down man to man to kind of let me know, hey, you know what, it's not going to work out. I don't like that you have your own brand. Instead, he texted me at 3 a.m. and I took that personal and as disrespect. So,
but the rumor is the reason, because he used to live in LA.
Yeah.
And then he suddenly moved to Florida. And the rumor is also because of the strength cartel, because he made his own.
I don't know, dog. I mean, I'm not him. I don't know why he made that decision. I can't, I can't speak on that. I don't know the answer.
Now, 2017 would also see Rich reunite with Chanel Jansen once again. After his marriage to Sarah failed, he restarted his business relationship with Chanel due to preferring her work over others. So, naturally, that led to the romance being rekindled in late 2016, which eventually led to them giving things a second try.
You know, I ran into my ex, Chanel, at the gym, and she was visiting. And, you know, we happened to run into each other. And it's funny because I went to the gym in the morning, and I never go early in the morning. You know, I always go in the afternoon or the evening. And, I woke up early, and I decided to go to the gym, and I happened to run into her. And, she's, we
Hello?
said hello, and she said, how you doing? And I kind of told her, and she's like, oh my God, I felt bad. And, we became friends. She, helped me through the situation. We talked, and, and we slowly kind of rekindled our relationship, and I have to say that I'm happy as I can be.
The rest of 2017 would see Rich continuing his business as usual, continuing to make content, appearing at expos, and growing his business. However, as he was sitting at the top of the fitness scene, in August of 2017, tragedy would strike. The effects of Rich's extensive steroid use had led to his body reaching its limit, exacerbating his cardiovascular issues and causing severe liver damage. Among the myriad of health issues that he had been dealing with was high blood pressure and an incredibly enlarged heart. Despite regular medical checkups and efforts to try to manage his high blood pressure, the damage had already been done, culminating in a cardiac arrest on August 7th, 2017. He was getting a haircut by Chanel when it happened at 1:30 p.m. in their Clearwater home. She called 911 and was instructed to do CPR until the paramedics arrived 10 minutes later. They confirmed that his heart was not beating properly, but were able to restore it. However, too much time had passed, and the lack of oxygen for that prolonged of a period caused irreversible brain damage. After the paramedics had discovered crushed white powder, a straw, and a credit card, they administered Naxalone, a medication used to counteract an opiate overdose. He was then rushed to the hospital where he was put in a coma in order to reduce the swelling in his brain. However, he had no more fight left and passed away 2 weeks later on August 25th, 2017.
So over the last few weeks, I've been bombarded with questions of how did he die? What happened? What was he doing? What happened that morning? We got up, we had a photo shoot at Powerhouse, we came home, made him food. He was checking his Instagram and he said, I want you to cut my hair. I was cutting his hair and he leaned forward against the wall in front of him in the bathroom. And I thought that he was just kind of trying to stretch his neck out so I could cut the back of his hair better. And all of a sudden he started to fall back towards me. And I said, baby, are you okay? As he came back, his eyes were rolled into the back of his head. I was kind of 3/4 to him and I went to catch him and he was sweating. So he slipped, fell, bumped his head and then fell back. His eyes were wide open and he was gasping. So his eyes are wide open and he's laying there. And I know usually it stops if I roll him to his side. So I rolled him to his side. I thought that he had passed out from maybe locking his knees or something and hitting his head. So I slapped him across the face a couple times, screamed his name, shook him. It wasn't working. Ran and got my phone, called 911, put it on speakerphone, threw it next to him. I said, I was cutting my boyfriend's hair and he passed out. I think he's having sleep apnea. I've got him on his side. No mention of drugs or overdose, so please get that out of your brain. According to my phone records, I was on hold or on call with 911 for approximately 10 minutes before the paramedics arrived. The only time I left him was to go unlock the door to let them in. When they came in, they checked his pulse. They said he wasn't responsive. I screamed and fell into the bathroom sink. 3 paramedics put him into our living room. They had to take me outside where I collapsed and I got put into an ambulance.
Piana's untimely death sent shock
very
waves
interesting.
through the bodybuilding community and his
Oh.
fans. The news made its way beyond just fitness outlets to several mainstream outlets as well, causing a mass speculation and interest in what may have happened. Fans and internet sleuths were reading every article available in an effort to get more information. Supporters poured to social media to express their condolences and stories about how Rich had changed their lives. The events after his death were a whirlwind of absolute chaos, especially for Chanel, as she had been the last person to see Rich before his passing. She denied that he was using cocaine, heroin, or any other recreational drug. She did, however, state that he would snort highly caffeinated pre-workout. Her claims that opiates were not involved then led to speculation about potential foul play, putting her under a microscope. She then revealed that his brain had been deprived of oxygen for over 30 minutes, and that in the days leading to his death, he had been acting very irregular. He had been dealing with shortness of breath, nausea, and fatigue, all potential warning signs of cardiac arrest. She also admitted that he knew his organs were enlarged, but was ignorant to the potentially deadly ramifications. He had an idea of what could happen, he just didn't think it would happen to him. Now, this was a highly salacious story, which only got worse once the autopsy was revealed, because to the surprise of very few, it showed significant heart and liver disease, caused by a heart and liver that were over twice the average amount of a normal healthy male. Despite knowing that his health was deteriorating, he just didn't know to what extent. And while this revelation was not a shock, the cause of death would be. The manner of death was ruled inconclusive, not giving fans and friends the closure that they had been waiting for. This was partly because no toxicology analysis was performed for the autopsy, and no access to toxicology analysis from his hospitalization was made available to the medical examiner. The hospital had actually discarded the specimens needed for toxicology analysis for later examination, despite being requested for preservation. This highly unusual chain of events and apparent oversight caused even more speculation as to what was really going on. Conspiracy theories about a potential cover-up would also start swirling around. The autopsy also showed no recent injury or physical trauma as a significant factor, ruling out foul play. Rich was later buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, California.
What are we thinking here? What are we thinking?
Now, while I wish the story ended there, Rich could just not seem to be able to rest in peace following his death. Because in September of 2017, a video of him having a very scary episode was released on the internet allegedly by his ex-wife, seemingly in an attempt to embarrass him after death, making it clear that the warning signs of his deteriorating health had shown themselves long before the downfall.
Baby, this is not normal. I know. I've seen stuff like this before. I'm afraid. Babe, what's up?
Babe, don't get upset, baby.
Like this. That's serious.
Rich man. Rich
Further
fucking
keeping his
piano.
name in the headlines were anonymous employees of 5% Nutrition. Remember the segment in Generation Iron 2 where Rich Gaspari criticized Rich Piana? Well, he had actually responded to it in a video that he decided not to release to avoid a public feud with a bodybuilding legend. Well, not too long after his death, someone with access to the channel published this video, further creating more drama involving his name.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about a particular person who decided to just come out of the woodwork and talk shit about me. Wow. Usually I ignore this shit, as you guys know. It happens so often, every day, pretty much. You know, it's a normal thing I'm used to, so I usually ignore it and just keep on rolling, right? But this particular situation is someone that I looked up to. This particular individual was someone that I had up on my wall and I looked up to, and at the time, you know, he was one of the top bodybuilders in the world. I never thought later in life that, you know, he would be on a feature film talking shit about me. A lot of people were messaging me on my YouTube channel, on my
Why does that look so ugly?
like, Rich, who's the old man that's talking shit about you in Generation Iron 2? Like, who is that guy? And what's crazy to me is that a lot of people, they don't even realize who he is. Yes, he was caught putting steroids in his products.
This infuriated his grieving mother, who went on to put out a statement denouncing whoever was behind that post. The statement read, "Due to legal reasons and the current investigation surrounding my son's death, I am limited as to what I can comment on at this time. However, this latest video uploaded on my son's personal YouTube channel was the last straw for my family. I'm speaking out for my family, Rich, his legacy, and for his beloved fans. First and foremost, my family and I do not have any part in 5% Nutrition since Rich's passing. We do not support nor condone the company nor their practices in controlling 5% Nutrition in my son's personal YouTube channel. 5% Nutrition was created by Rich, and in our eyes, it was his dream which should have been laid to rest with him. My family and I have been trying to overcome the grief of losing Rich. No mercy, as 5% Nutrition has continued to milk my son's name and image for monetary gain, splicing old videos to create new ones for more YouTube money, trying to replace Rich with various athletes which never worked. It was appalling watching this latest video. The comments below the video indicate Rich's fans do not appreciate this content either. Fans are not fooled by the uncaring and despicable greed. Worse yet, this video does Rich such injustice by the very company he created. Sickening. In closing, I would like to thank Rich's fans for standing up to the greed. Rich's fans meant the world to him. We thank you for your love and loyalty. Last but not least, we thank Dave Palumbo for his support in giving us a platform.
There we go. This looks a lot better.
On August 30th, 2018,
Now that's looking like a real mine shaft.
Of the Leave Humanity Behind series that Rich had filmed while he was still signed to Mutant. This final series was shelved once Rich left to focus on building 5%. However, it hadn't been seen by anyone, including Rich himself. The final installment is a 46-minute episode, structured just like the previous ones, with additional trading footage and B-roll at the end. 1 month later, on October 19, 2018, Generation Iron and Vlader Studios released a documentary about the life of Rich Piana, called The Rich Piana Chronicles. The film consisted of unreleased, never-before-seen footage filmed during the production of Generation Iron 2, a couple years prior to his death. It includes insight into his life, as well as a retelling of his life story and training philosophy. It also highlighted the scale of the 5% operation and how big it really was behind the scenes. If there was one thing that this documentary proved, it was that Rich was really a larger-than-life character. Both the Rich Piana Chronicles and the final season are available for streaming on Tubi. In 2023, a book on his life was released called Rich Piana Beyond the Iron: The Extraordinary Life of Rich Piana. Rich Piana believed that honesty was crucial in an industry shrouded in secrecy and lies. He felt it was important to demystify the use of steroids and to provide accurate information about their risks, side effects, and competitive benefits, whether people wanted to hear the truth or not. By sharing his own experiences, including his mistakes, he aimed to offer a more realistic perspective on what it takes to compete at the highest levels of bodybuilding. Fostering a sense of trust and authenticity with his audience made him a relatable and respected figure within the fitness community, which is exactly what
Not bad, not bad.
People to know that he was just like them and came from the same circumstances that they
Ow.
did, only validating that if he could do it, anybody else could as well, with the same level of dedication. He fought hard to destigmatize the topic of mental health within the bodybuilding community by discussing issues like anxiety, stress, and depression, and not just his social media posts, but his interviews as well. This made him somewhat of a pioneer in the fitness space for not just making contributions to steroid awareness, but overall mental health awareness.
We're looking good, guys. We're looking good. This nice little mine shaft. So should I make it this wide right here?
With the people closest to him, and it wasn't an easy feat, and a constant source of stress for him throughout his.
Or should I just make it
when you look at his upbringing,
this wide?
Environment, it's not hard to see why he was so tortured. He grew up in one of the most cutthroat major cities in an environment where everyone wants to be somebody. And the pressures that came with that were only exacerbated by.
If you share this, does it make the mine shaft look wider? I mean, it worked for me. Look, it worked for me.
Conditioned to want to be big. So, of course, he'd spend the rest of his life obsessively chasing that unattainable standard he had set for himself. Which is exactly why the downfall that came with the success of Rich Piana was truly a tragic one. His legacy serves as a cautionary tale about the long-term consequences of steroid abuse, highlighting the need for a balanced approach. In a way, his death served a purpose in validating everything he said about the use of steroids from his experience, which is that for most people, it's just not worth the risk.
As you guys know, people that follow me know that I'm talking about them because I'm trying to educate people. And as you guys know, I'm against people taking steroids. Anyone that's natural, that's thinking about taking steroids, I tell them don't. You know, don't. Stay natural.
Despite no longer being with us, Rich's influence continues to be felt in the fitness community. His philosophy, motivational messages, and educational efforts have left a lasting impact. Because you can still find old clips of his content posted by multiple fan pages on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, further keeping his legacy alive and well. Those who followed him closely still describe to this day the sense of community and support they felt through his online presence. His response to comments, engaging live streams, and genuine interest in getting to know his fans.
The fuck was that? That was weird.
From most, and made his death all the more impactful.
My Dr. Pepper just flew across my fucking desk
relentless pursuit of excellence and a willingness
with nobody touching it.
From his early beginnings,
that was real weird.
Fitness-oriented family to his rise as a bodybuilding icon, Rich's life was marked by overcoming adversity through a no-quit mentality, and through consistency, eventually finding your calling. These days, 5% Nutrition is still alive and well and running strong. Ran by CEO Peter Hick, the brand continues to fulfill its original mission by providing products for the 5% of those willing to go the extra mile, regardless of what they're committed to. Instead of losing faith and giving up, the staff that Rich employed became even more dedicated in continuing to build the brand. And as stated on their website, since the founding of 5% Nutrition, Rich Piana has had the support of a loyal social media following, plus an entire office team. He knew what he did not know and wisely partnered with experts in sports nutrition and bodybuilding supplements, hiring industry experts, and tapping consultants for their honest product feedback. Much of Rich's team, which had been handpicked to run his sports nutrition and apparel empire, is still working under the 5% Nutrition banner. Rather than quit when we lost our leader, we took a page right from the book of Rich Piana, pushing through the pain of his loss in August 2017 to preserve and get reorganized around a future without our living legend. We work each day to develop new products and expand the existing product lineup, all while staying true to Rich's vision of the future, which he established when he founded the company. You are the 5% nation that defines the 5% family we know, love, and respect. Together, we are the 5% nation. In reflecting on Rich Piana's life and legacy, we are reminded of the enduring impact that one person can have on a community and beyond. But also, the harsh reality that behind some of the greatest and most positive minds can lie a more troubling reality than what is seen to the rest of the world. What can we learn from the life of Rich Piana? It's that the grueling road to success often requires an immense amount of sacrifice and a level of dedication unmatched by those around you. But the road to success and effects of adopting the whatever it takes mentality is not for the faint of heart. But whatever it is we pursue and compromises we make to get there are decisions and consequences that we need to be willing to accept in the end. I hope you guys enjoyed exploring the complex life and legacy of Rich Piana just as much as I enjoyed creating it. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'm Large Kofi. Thank you for watching.
Man, we watched the whole video. What are we doing? What are we doing next? Large Kofi. Let's check his videos out. Check his videos. Let's check this guy out. Let's check this guy out. Some CT Fletcher, boy. What you guys know about CT Fletcher?
I work my ass off. I know you don't want to hear that, and I don't give a what you don't want to hear.
Fuck you.
4 Big Mac, 4 fries, 2 shakes, and 4 apple pie.
As the fitness scene on social media continues to evolve, its history also gets a lot longer. With every new hot face going viral and capturing the attention of the new generation, the trailblazers of the past often get forgotten, and quite frankly don't get talked about enough. And in this reality, I couldn't help but think about one man in particular, a wild, brash, and borderline maniacal man who had taken over as one of social media's biggest personalities in the early 2010s. That man is
CT Fletcher.
Engaging within fitness spaces at the time that he was going viral, then you definitely remember the crazy faces that he was making during his training sessions, or just some of the motivational rhetoric that he had. The man knew how to capture an audience. But as the years passed and the scene got more and more saturated, that legacy sort of got lost in the mix. But the great thing about this content thing that we do is that when we post a video, it's up there forever, even long after we're gone. And while the algorithm does have its ebbs and flows in terms of the type of content it promotes,
Technoblade.
so long as your content is still out there, there's always going to be a chance that new people will find it, reintroducing you to a potentially new generation of people. And I think we need to shine a light on the wild journey of CT Fletcher, the darkness that he rose from, his ascent to powerlifting superstardom, the mistakes that he made throughout his career, and his new lease on life. His entire journey is a testament to the fact that it's never too late.
That's CT Fletcher for you. Fucking beast of a man.
Fletcher, born on June 8, 1959 in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, dealt with an upbringing that was characterized by emotional turmoil, severe poverty, and very harsh discipline. He barely spent any time in Arkansas, as at the age of 1 year old, his parents moved to the Watts neighborhood in Los Angeles, and soon after that, to Compton. Now, I'm not from out west, nor have I ever been to Watts or Compton, but from all the gangland documentaries I watched growing up, those were two areas that were really tough to grow up in. Watts in particular has a storied history of not just violence in the neighborhood, but a lot of civil unrest due to the racial tension between the black community there and the notoriously well-behaved LAPD. And Compton was no different, with gun violence being so prominent in those communities that the sound of gunshots was just as normal as the sounds of birds chirping in your typical suburb.
I'm sure that everybody probably know Tookie Williams, which is a gangster from Compton and one of the founders of the original Crip. When I was a kid growing up, Tookie Williams was the man, not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So of course, being in that environment, it was going to be extremely difficult to avoid being a victim of some type of crime. And his time would come in the 9th grade when he'd have a gun pulled on him. But despite the traumatic event, Craig genuinely believed that the toughest places in the world forged the strongest people, both mentally and emotionally.
Growing up in the bad part of a town that will toughen you up a little bit, and that goes for any place on the planet. People who grew up in them, they know.
Now, to complement the rigid structure of his household, his parents got him a set of pig iron weights from a swap meet that he initially couldn't lift, but eventually got the hang of after a little bit of persistence. That constant frustration of not being able to do it ignited the fuel that would eventually turn into his obsession. This was his intro to working out. No gym, no exercise science books, just him and the weights. And from that point on, backyard lifting had become a lifelong tradition and one of his favorite pastimes.
Hey, this is a 5-pound pig iron plate, a 10-pound
fuck?
to the pig iron plate, and a 20
Move, Snail.
pig iron plate.
Coming from a long line of physically imposing men like his father, grandfather, and uncles, he had the genetics to wield great.
Where'd you guys go? Hold on.
He was just too young to realize it. Now, growing up in Compton and the challenges that brought was the least of Craig's concerns. He faced the most adversity due to his preaching father's strict religious upbringing that he enforced through physical and emotional abuse throughout most of his childhood, with 8 years old being as early as he can remember. You see, behind the veil of a man who would go to the pulpit and preach about the importance of family was a man who would go back home and abuse his own. His father was adamant that he follow in his footsteps and become a preacher himself, but young Craig did not want that, and instead of accept the fact that his son wanted to forge his own path, he lashed out at him. In one particular incident, he found out that Craig had a crush on one of the girls in the church when he found a love note that he wrote to her. So he proceeded to beat the shit out of him in front of everybody because he was a teenage boy who dared have romantic thoughts. So because of this, he lived in a constant fear of being abused. And everything would come to a head one day when his dad came home from work and beat and bloodied him so bad that he had to get hospitalized. The sheer violence of it was so bad that his mother fainted. And it was this day that Craig vowed that he would kill his father if he ever put hands on him again. While this was the most traumatic event of his teenage years, what was equally as traumatic was the fact that his mother begged him to not press charges against his father, something that she would later regret. In fact, his mom's reluctance to get involved led to a rift between the two that would last a few years. Despite this though, his mom still nurtured and took care of him and also provided the gentle counterbalance to his father's violence, always there to console him and make him feel better. According to CT, without his mother's love growing up, he would have completely mentally collapsed. The anxiety that this type of environment created profoundly impacted a young Craig, hardening him as a result. Reflecting on his childhood, he once stated, "The extreme discipline and severe physical abuse was our way of life." But to escape his reality, Craig began working various manual labor jobs at just 12 years old, to not just help put food on the table, but to escape his home life. From cleaning to pumping gas, he was doing it all. But after a few years of doing that, he became fed up and did what a lot of young people do when they want to find an out for what may feel like a personal prison to them. Join the military, and in the process decided to end the generational cycle of trauma while promising his unborn children that they would never feel about him the way he felt about his father. He wanted to be a father that was loved and respected, not feared, and in the process strive to be better than his own in every way, even physically. In 1977, at the age of 18, Craig sought freedom from his oppression by joining the United States Army. Stationed in Germany, he had a lot to do and a lot of new things to explore. But among those things was delving into martial arts, a critical turning point that introduced him to a higher level of mental toughness and structured discipline. Two qualities he already had that he was able to explore, and he excelled rapidly, earning his third black belt in karate by 1979, only 2 years later. During this time, he was also introduced to a much more structured weightlifting regimen, because as most people know, fitness is a cornerstone of military service. And by 1980, Craig was back home. Returning to civilian life, Craig secured a job with the United States Postal Service, which wasn't a bad gig at the time. He was in a union, he had great benefits, but he wasn't all that satisfied because it wasn't something he was remotely passionate about. He loved being active, and military service allowed him to do that. Whether it was practicing karate, weightlifting, he was moving constantly. To transition to a profession that didn't give him the activity level that he needed was pretty difficult. So,
A wand!
trying to find a new outlet, began his
A magic wand.
Now, his early amateur bodybuilding career is not widely documented, as it is confirmed that he competed in a few shows in the early 80s, placing top 3 in most of them, but the names, dates, and locations are not known. While he did like bodybuilding, it wasn't the competitive outlet he wanted to pursue in the long run. He wanted to do something a little more fun, something that was better suited for him, which began his introduction to powerlifting. With his aspirations shifting towards powerlifting, it took him little to no time to realize that it was his true calling and passion. He became absolutely obsessed, something that he always felt was a requirement for greatness. As he once said, obsession separates greatness from mediocrity, and he was willing to die if it meant getting to where he wanted to be, a dangerous yet pivotal part of his mindset. While he did appreciate and love the aesthetic aspect of bodybuilding, there was something about lifting heavy shit that he loved even more. It helped him release that pent-up frustration and satisfied this primal urge that he had. Strength training had quickly become his therapy, and every new milestone became a measure of growth, both mentally and physically.
Diamonds! Diamonds, diamonds, time to mine the diamond. Diamonds, diamonds.
Soon after he started powerlifting, he quickly fell in love with the sport and began his quest to make his mark. Now, most powerlifters can attest to the fact that one movement tends to dominate the rest. For Craig, being an upper body dominant person, it was the bench press. With the size of his arms and his chest, it should come as no surprise that this man was putting up some nasty numbers on the bench. So nasty, in fact, that he wasn't even interested in going full power and competing in the other lifts. He wanted to maximize his best feature and focus on that. He figured that would be the best use of his time and energy and would allow him to make a name for himself faster. So, in 1987, he competed at the USPF Southern California Bench Press Competition at 242 pounds and put up a diabolical 475. Now, considering the fact that he was allegedly natural at the time, that was a ridiculous introduction to bench press competitions. 3 years later, he followed this up with 2 more appearances, this time at 275, benching 523.6 and 529.1 respectively. 1 year later, in 1981, at the Central California Open, he hit another new record, benching 534.6, and tried to break it just 12 days later, but could only manage 520. Only 520. This makes complete sense when you consider the amount of time it takes to even build up to a lift like that, and then the amount of time it takes to recover from it. So, yeah, hitting that number again was probably out of the question just 12 days later. But the fact that he was even able to get that close so soon after is just a testament to his genetic freakishness. Now, 5 years after having entered the world of powerlifting, he benched a new record of 540.1, and in the process, nabbed his first drug-tested bench press world championship. That's right, just 5 years into his powerlifting career, and he was the best bench presser in the world in his weight class. Yes, it was a drug-tested meet, which means when it was all said and done, they had him piss in a cup, tested it for substances, and said he was good to go. But to make it clear, that would be the last meet he would be natural in. 1992 was a pretty big year for him, but the bench press record was not the only record that he would nab in 1992, as he would also set the world record in the strict curl, curling 225 pounds with his entire posterior chain upright against the wall, all arms, shoulders, and core.
Beast. Fucking beast of a man. What a beast. Perish.
But to make the lift more iconic, he set it at the legendary Muscle Beach in Venice, California, and the record stood for 25 years before being broken in 2017. By the end of 1992, his powerlifting career had skyrocketed, as he had developed a reputation in the Cali powerlifting scene, frequently placing among the top contenders in bench press only meets with a world record under his belt. His intense high-volume training regimens had become the talk of the community because of his relentless high reps and unwavering determination, even in the face of the most intense lactic acid. And by this time, he was quickly finding his style and philosophy: train hard and train often. He began passionately advocating for pushing the body beyond its perceived limits. Once saying, "The high rep thing is to train your mind as much as training your body. With every rep and every muscle fiber built, it was only strengthening what's up here." However, unfortunately for Craig, he would get some bad news in 1993 that would threaten to cut his powerlifting career short and challenge his own philosophy. During a doctor's visit, he was informed that he had an aortic valve condition which could threaten his life if he kept training at the intensity that he was currently training at. The condition was called aortic regurgitation and was a condition where the valve didn't close properly, causing blood to flow backwards into the left ventricle. This places increased strain on the heart, potentially leading to heart enlargement and failure. And if this condition sounds serious, that's because it is.
Patient with aortic regurgitation is more difficult for us to evaluate because the patient really can become or can be symptomatic for a long period of time. And what our concern about that patient is that the left ventricle that is developing an overload from all the blood rushing back into the ventricle becomes dilated. And any time the patient develops any decrease in their function of their heart with left ventricular dilatation, we're pretty quick to recommend that the patient have an aortic valve replacement. Our concern about that patient population is that that left ventricular decline in function could become permanent, and that could be a very serious problem for that patient long term.
His doctor recommended that he retire from powerlifting, but as you could probably imagine, he said no and continued competing anyways.
Yeah.
But the man would work 8 to 12-hour shifts for USPS and then train 3 to 4 hours on top of that. Now, despite the wear and tear, he was still able to make significant progress as he'd hit a major milestone in the winter of that year when he would demolish his bench press record by 60 pounds and cross the 600-pound barrier, nabbing his second world bench press record, this time at a body weight of 319, the heaviest he had been up until that point in his life.
319. Yes, dang.
I mean,
that boy heavy.
Professional strongman levels at 319. Now, if people didn't know about Craig then, they certainly heard about him after he put up that 600-pound raw bench press, in what would be the best raw bench press of his entire career. Now, in terms of his personal life at this point, he had been married to his high school sweetheart for a few years, and they had a couple kids, but the marriage ended rather quickly. By 1995, however, he had found love again and married a woman he met while working at the post office and welcomed a son with her named Samson, after his favorite biblical character, a man of strength who was knocked down and found redemption. That name and the symbolism behind it, he hoped would foreshadow his son carrying his legacy. Speaking of legacy, Craig would cement his own in August of 1996 when he would set his third world bench press record, this time equipped. He would hit a wild 650.3
650
press competition.
Damn, he's strong. He's strong. What time for me to eat? Yeah. Level 40?
3 years prior, Doctors were trying to convince him to retire from powerlifting, and yet he was still breaking world records. So to hell with the doctors, right? Well, no, because eventually all of that strain on his heart would eventually catch up to him. As the 2000s approached, life for Craig wouldn't get any easier as he'd face some of his biggest life challenges, and the misfortune was never ending. In 2001, he was hospitalized due to severe hypertension, resulting in congestive heart failure from years of consuming fast food on a regular basis, in particular, McDonald's. Now,
I fucking love McDonald's.
If you know anything about C.T. Fletcher and the aspects of his life that made him so viral, it was his notorious McDonald's diet that he was very candid about when he got on social media.
Back when I was in my competitive powerlifting days, nutrition was a joke to me. I would eat any and everything, a non-stop eating machine, because I felt like that's what I had to do in order to be the biggest, baddest motherfucker on planet Earth. I wanted to stop traffic. I wanted to crack the sidewalk with every step. I wanted to be the king of the jungle, the baddest beast on the planet. So I felt like stuffing my face was the only way to do it. And I was such a regular at McDonald's back then. They knew what I was going to eat for lunch every day. They prepared my 4 Big Macs, 4 fries, 2 shakes, and 4 apple pies. I had that same lunch for over 20 years at the same McDonald's, actually.
What did the Big Mac diet look like? I mean,
what was the
number?
routine?
How many?
There might be some people listening that don't know. So what was the McDonald's routine back in the day?
4 Big Macs, 4 French fries, 2 apple pies, and goddamn a strawberry malt shake to rinse it down with. And I see people, imitating that and I'm like, are you crazy?
So when he was younger, CT used to eat on a daily basis, apparently, 4 Big Macs, 4 large fries, 2 large chocolate milkshakes, 6 cheeseburgers, and 4 apple pies. That's a lot of food. Without further ado, this is Bimic's Food, and this is CT Fletcher's heart-stopping daily diet challenge. Imagine eating this every single day for like 10 years. I mean, it'd make you strong, don't get me wrong.
According to him, he would eat 6 double cheeseburgers every day for lunch. 6 for lunch. And it wasn't just lunch. He was hitting up Mickey D's multiple times a day, so much so that the employees were probably tired of seeing his swole ass drive up. Now that I think about it, this was probably a factor in him deciding to walk away from bodybuilding, because the man just couldn't put down the Big Mac. But having never had proper nutritional guidance or information, he just ate what he wanted to eat. He was rising during a time in the fitness industry where routines weren't all encompassing, and it was just about lifting the weights and nothing more. In a sense, he was kind of a victim of his era. He figured as long as I'm training and fully functional, I'll be fine. Spoiler alert, he wasn't fine. The 20 plus years of eating a high calorie, high fat, and high sodium diet as an African American man who was already genetically predisposed to hypertension, on top of putting his body under constant duress, was a ticking time bomb that almost ended his life. This is something he has always been very honest about. Not to brag about how many McDoubles he was able to put down in one sitting, but to shine a light on the fact that he paid no attention to his poor nutrition and the negative long-term effects that it had on his body. He luckily recovered from but would experience the first major loss of his life as his mother passed away in 2004 due to congestive heart failure. She was actually one of 9 members on his mother's side to pass away due to heart-related conditions. It's actually crazy to know that he was putting up the numbers that he was while eating like a cast member of My 600-Pound Life. But when you're on gear and training really hard, the potential damage that's being done on the inside is masked by the results you're seeing on the outside. Now at this point, Craig, despite having dealt with a serious medical condition, was still not willing to adjust his lifestyle. He was still training intensely and eating high-calorie processed foods. But his refusal to let up, combined with his genetic predisposition to heart disease, led to the most severe health challenges he would face in his life up until that point. Remember that aortic valve condition that he was warned about in 1993? Well, in 2005, he'd have a medical emergency that would require surgery to replace that very valve. According to CT, during surgery while under anesthesia, he flatlined 3 times. And as he was dying each time, he claims to have seen his mother praying. Horrifying stuff. In the weeks before the surgery, He woke up with a brand new lease on life, and death was no longer something that he feared. But the moments of optimism didn't last long, as this was still a significant setback. The health crisis forced him into early retirement from competitive powerlifting and drastically altered his life. He couldn't sleep lying down as his diaphragm was cut, so for a period of time he had to sleep lying against the wall. The death he stopped fearing, he eventually wanted, because at that point, he didn't want to continue living that way. He candidly described this period as a low point, saying, "After surgery, I lost my job. I felt like a bum, unemployed and homeless. With no job and an inability to compete, he wasn't able to provide for himself and his young family. Suffering from homelessness and losing direction, Craig didn't feel like himself, because the one thing that gave him his perceived value, which was staying strong, was taken away from him due to equal parts genetics and his own neglect of his health and the warnings of his doctors. But if you remember his upbringing, he was working at 12 and putting his head down and grinding to escape his circumstances. So he quickly realized that if he could do it once, he could easily do it again. He still had kids relying on him, and he refused to let them see him mentally broken, even if he meant he was physically weak. In his own words, "They may see a broken body, but never a broken spirit." So, 8 years after having punched the Grim Reaper in the face, he sought an opportunity to turn his adversity, pain, and mistakes into education for others. He wasn't just gonna give up and call it a life. He was still somebody. This was CT motherfucking Fletcher, multiple-time world bench press champion, strip curl champion, and one of the most prolific California powerlifters of the 90s. At that point, being 53 years old, having dealt with multiple surgeries and some injuries, powerlifting was basically out of the question. He made his bodybuilding comeback in 2012 at the NPC Excalibur in the Master Over 50 division and came in absolutely peeled for an older competitor, and he ended up taking second at the show. He may have been well past his prime competing, but he still had a lot to offer the powerlifting and overall fitness community. So in 2013, he started his YouTube channel where he delivered raw and unfiltered motivational content, as well as education, and his life changed almost instantly. Now, his first public video, titled "The Strongest Man You've Never Heard Of," was actually not posted to his personal YouTube channel. It was posted to the Strength Project's channel and almost instantly went viral due to most people not having had any exposure to this strong man and wanting to learn more about his story. In the video, CT highlights his career accolades, drops some wisdom and knowledge around motivation to the viewers, and it was engaging from beginning to end.
20 minutes, past 20 minutes, but 20 minutes, any fucking thing is a pile of bullshit. If you see somebody with great abs, a great butt, a great whatever, they didn't do the shit in 20 minutes. And if they tell you they did, they are a fucking liar. Trust me on that. No matter what. I hate complainers, I hate criers. If I can come in here with a metal valve implanted in my chest, taking 10 different medicines just to stay alive every day and do my workout, you have no excuses. So no matter what, your nose bleeds, it's that time of the month, the kids are crying, you don't feel like it, your back hurts, you got aches and pains, it's still your motherfucking self.
And just like that, the formula for what would revive the career of CT Fletcher was born. He started posting his version of what training was supposed to be, borrowing inspiration from his military experience and his cousins in the backyard. He posted raw, unfiltered, potty mouth content that was not family friendly in any way, but it was real and true to him. Now, the core of his content was motivation, education, and flat out showing off some crazy lifts. In one video, he'd be telling the viewers the keys to growing massive arms, and in the next video, he'd be breaking down mental toughness. Either way, you could almost guarantee that he was swearing in his videos. It became a trademark at that point.
I'm not only a raving fucking lunatic, a sick motherfucker, I also possess a little knowledge about the subject that I'm fucking talking about. Tame your mind. Unchain your mind from the imprisonment of fear. Unchain your mind. It's been encaged with doubt. Unchain your mind. Loose yourself. Let yourself free from the binds of average, from the binds of normal.
Whether he knew it or not, he ventured into YouTube and built his brand at the right time, because the algorithm was loving it, which is why most of his videos were going viral, gaining hundreds and thousands to millions of views, proving that it was never too late to find new success, as by the time his channel was blowing up, he was approaching his mid-50s, but seeing way more popularity and getting way more acclaim than he did when he was powerlifting. This was a period of time in fitness social media when there were very few figures as unfiltered as he was, and his content subsequently blazed a trail for that type of in-your-face, no-excuses messaging. "I command you to grow" became a war cry for motivated lifters everywhere, and it was refreshing to a lot of people. He wasn't just appealing to strictly bodybuilders and powerlifters either. A lot of his messaging could be carried over into every aspect of someone's life, hence why a portion of his audience were people who weren't even in the gym, but believed in his mission. From stay-at-home moms to ex-felons and white-collar workers, a variety of people had not only been exposed to CT Fletcher's content, but fell in love with it and his life story as well.
What do I do? Are you the slowest motherfucker on the planet yet? No. Well, if you're not the slowest motherfucker on the planet, you got some more revenue.
Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna take a 30-minute break, and we're gonna play some Overwatch, I think. Alright.